You could choose among yourself of who you want to make the number 2 option. But if Luka's your number 2 option, how are we sitting up here saying that you ain't a championship basketball team? If Bron is your number 2 option, how are we sitting here saying you ain't a championship basketball team? On top of having really good players around them, you got Austin Reeves, you got Achimura. Like, this team right here, if they can continue to keep playing defense, you got 2 guys that can take over a game and make everybody around them better. And if Bron has it going, you're sitting here telling me Luka's number 2. If Luka has it going, Bron's number 2. I don't know if it's a team in the West that I can sit here and say they consistently can beat the Lakers in 7 games to knock them out of the playoffs. Yeah. I cannot say that. So with what I'm seeing from Luka right now and how the Lakers are playing since he's been over there, I believe this is championship or bust for them. I think they have the roster to do it. And, yeah, we can sit here and nitpick and say, well, they might not be big enough. Every roster ain't flawless. All right, you got to overcome some stuff. And if you got 2 of the better players in the world, you should be able to overcome some of that type stuff. So I'm going to say, man, this is a championship basketball team right here, man. I think it's championship or bust with what they're doing and what they got.
Well, I'm not going to say championship or bust. I do think in the next 3 years, next 4 years, they're going to win some championships. I think with Luka and LeBron, all right? Because LeBron ain't slowing down at all. But I want to ask you this, though, real quick, James, because I'm a basketball nut.
No doubt,
my first true love is hoops. In my head, I was Allen Iverson before I was shaking the court. So I'm just thinking of, like, they're winning and everything's working well. I think Luka's finally starting to get his legs under him a little bit, right? But as I think about, like, what teams in a midseason trade or a first-year trade just go out there and just win a championship? I thought about the Warriors, but then the Warriors already had that winning DNA. They already had that culture already, right? And then a lot of guys leave. Steph was still there. Clay was still there. Right, and Draymond was still there. And then they added Kevin Durant and they won. If I look at the Heat, it took them a year to get that thing together. Yo, Giannis and Dame Lillard. People forget, like, when I was like, yo, they got Dame?
I thought they were going straight there, you right.
Okay, so I'm thinking, like, tell me, what team has done that so far?
Yeah, it's a good point.
But it ain't a trade like this, though.
No, but I'm saying, star quality is star quality, right? I mean, you saying all that, right? When Kevin Durant said, yo, Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal's going to the Suns with Devin Booker, we all thought that was about to be, and it wasn't. So all I'm saying is that, not that the Lakers can't win a championship, but you tell me this year, right now, right away? I think when they made this trade happen, I said, you know what? The Lakers dynasty is still going to be there. The legacy of the Lakers, right? You know, Boston Lakers are always going at it. I said in the next 6, 7, maybe 10 years, I think the Lakers are in great hands with Luka. And you got another 3 years with LeBron. So they're going to win a championship, but to say it this year is a bust, I cannot agree with that.
Let me ask you a question. What team in the West, like watching the Lakers play right now since they got Luka, which team in the West in a 7-game series that you like are fully confident could knock them off?
See, this is the thing, though. When you ask that question, right, it's always a team you don't expect.
No question.
So when before Kyrie Irving got to, even that part, when Kyrie Irving came to Dallas, nobody said, yo, they're going right to the finals.
And they didn't.
Okay, Luka's first time going to the Western Conference Finals, right? Nobody expected them to do that.
No doubt.
They smoked the Suns when the Suns was rolling.
No doubt.
You get what I'm saying? So it's always a team that you don't expect. Or how about when freaking Jimmy Butler took the Heat with a whole bunch of undrafted players, and you get what I mean? So when you ask me that question, I can't give you a realistic answer because history shows you that it's always a team that you don't expect to go out there and win.
You wouldn't be surprised.
I know my basketball. You all know my basketball,
You wouldn't be surprised at all if that team was Bron and Luka.
No.
You say you still on the name thing. Star power is star power.
I'm just saying.
You know what I think, though, Jay, because you made a point that I want to piggyback on. Like, every team has weaknesses. But the beauty of the Lakers' weakness is the 2025 NBA can't exploit it. The Lakers' weaknesses, they ain't got bigs. If this was early 2000s and Tim Duncan and Shaquille O'Neal were just walking around, Amari Stoudemire walking around, I would care. If it was late 90s and Charles Barkley, Hakeem, Karl Malone were walking around, it would matter. But the biggest weakness for the Lakers, they do not have bigs, thus they do not have depth at big, but it's irrelevant because that's not the day and age of the NBA currently. I was watching yesterday and I realized LeBron or Luka were on the court at every minute of the game. Either LeBron or Luka. You start the game, you get both of them. You end the half, you get both of them. You start the half, you get both of them. You end the game, you get both of them. And at minimum, you got one of them in between. So at every point in the game, you have an all-NBA caliber talent on the court. But the biggest thing for me was this. You know they say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But what in the world happens when talent does work hard? And that's the Lakers right now. The Lakers right now are a talented team that works incredibly hard. Look no further than the score was 93-88. There were roughly 7.5 minutes left in the game. The Lakers, they get 4 offensive rebounds en route to LeBron James hitting a dagger corner 3. I want y'all to rewatch it in case y'all missed it. I would suggest the most important possession of the game was right here. 93-88. You get 3 to 4 boards. You find LeBron in the corner. Now it's his 3rd shot attempt. Bucket, 96-88. Game is blouses. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But when you have 2 of the most talented players in the history of the game of basketball and they work hard, who's beating them? That's the question, Chase.
I think it is championship or bust, but I think it's a little more than what you guys were saying and you guys were saying. Isn't any blue chip franchise, isn't it always like a premier in any sport, championship or bust? Like Lakers, they're always expecting to win it. The Yankees, the Chiefs, the Celtics. So for me, they're always a blue chip franchise. And people are always, like you said, like the history is always there. They're always expected to do that. But this year specifically, I want to be careful saying it because there's still 6 weeks left. Now, they did move up to the 2 seed. And to answer your question, because that's how I thought about it, James, who is going to be competing with the Lakers in a 7-game series? I think the Thunder. I don't know which way it goes right now. But the way it's working with the Lakers, when you have a top 3 scorer in the league in Luka, and you have the best closer in the game still in LeBron, you can divvy it up. You don't have to be on the court at the same time because they've shown they've won 16 of their last 19. And then you have Dalton Connect last night with 5 3-pointers, 19
they
points.
Got shooting, bro.
And, and Austin Reeves didn't even play. Their true number 3. Hachimura didn't even play. And they're still winning games, and they're playing really good defense. So when you have a guy like Luka who can score, he's finally shooting better because I think the first part of the trade he wasn't shooting better. They're on a 6-game win streak. He's one of the best passers I've ever seen. And then him and LeBron, if LeBron can stay healthy, if LeBron can stay hungry down the stretch, they don't need both of them at the same time to do it. Now, you still have 6 weeks till the playoffs and stuff like that, but I like their chances, man.
So sometimes, right, when I don't really know something in basketball, I always go to all my
CP, he showed up. Gordon, he showed up.
Gordon showed up. Ooh, yes, he did
You know what I mean? Like, Gordon showed up.
When
When you think about the Celtics, they won the chip off the Brown of JT and JB. But like Shady said, Derek White, he showed up. Drew, he showed up. Horford, he showed up. Like, hobbled and whatnot, but even he tried to show up. And so, to Shady's point, it is probably going to come down to connect.
The role
Will he show up? Reeves, will he show up? Gabe Vincent, will he show up? Vando, will he show up? DFS, will he show up? It's going to come down to all them other cats.
I just don't think we've seen 2 players on the same team like these 2.
I agree with that.
That's create and make everybody better. Like, even remember last year, I think they were playing the Celtics and in the finals. And we were like, these dudes missing a whole lot of wide open shots. Dallas Mavericks were. They missing a whole lot of wide open 3-pointers as Luka was creating. Yeah, defensively is one thing, but you got 2 dudes that make everybody on the court better. So even though it is playoffs, I still think Austin Reeves finna get some wide open 3s.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether he knock them down or not, I don't know. Rui still finna get some wide open 3s. Connect gonna get some wide because of these 2 dudes' playmaking ability. That's my thing.
If you had to compare, like maybe like a situation like the Luka and LeBron, would it be more Steph and KD? Like that stardom, that superstar pride.
I don't know playmaker-wise, though, like getting everything.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and now mind you, that Warriors team has so much depth, but those 2.
So that's where I'm going. So because I'm saying like, okay, you talking about getting people open and this open shots and this and that, and make it easier for the role players. That's the Warriors with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. But the difference was the role players play tremendous. And my thing is, are we gonna see the same thing with? Because it's going to get tough out there, though.
It is.
Right? You know what? Hey, look, and I keep saying, it's like, you know what? Hey, look, man, let LeBron and let Luka, they're going to score their 60s. Go ahead. Y'all get your 30 apiece, whatever you want to do. Cool, have that. Right? Or it's 40 apiece. Cool, 80, have that.
Who's scoring the other 20?
So that means we're going to depend on Austin to keep doing, right? You get what I'm saying with this?
Fresh out of the bench.
We're going to find out, though. All I'm saying is that when the Warriors were doing it, the Warriors had role players that were still delivering. And then you still had Clay was a role player now. You get what I'm saying?
We all know what